I thought I'd give Eve a little special entrance. Doesn't she look pretty? Wow. What a beast. Can you hear me, guys? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a year. It's been a year since I did that the last time. Man, there's already so many of you. Awesome. Awesome. You guys can hear me very good. Cool. Yeah, we're here in Turkey, in Antalya. But you saw that in the video from yesterday. I guess that is also the reason why I don't do so many live streams, because I feel like the journey is already kind of live, you know, because I film, I edit, I upload almost in real time. And before we start the Q&A, I would like to thank you, all of you guys, for watching and for making this journey happen, basically, because as you guys know, YouTube and the videos, they are my income, and they finance this whole adventure. And Maree and I were already on the road for like, I think it's almost 7 months now, 6.5 months. And yeah, it's been quite the journey so far. We have been in so many countries already. It's really amazing. Eve is holding up pretty good. She does the job. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in tonight, and thank you all for always watching the videos. It's really makes me happy. All right. Yeah, then there might be a chance that I overread questions, so feel free to just post them double if I don't get to your question. And yeah, let's get it started, I would say. I'm a little bit nervous, you know, these live stream things, I'm not used to that. And yeah, I feel more comfortable making videos than doing this live stream thing, but we'll get through it. All right, let's see. Iron Crime Productions, that is what I read now. First, I have noticed you don't use rain mode during rain. Why is that? I just don't feel I need it so much, because, you know, traction control is always on, and, you know, I'd rather control everything myself, and, you know, in rain I don't go fast anyway, so it's not really needed. Okay, hello from Lübeck. It's so cool that you guys are watching from all over the world. That is amazing, really. So cool. All right, let me just scroll here a little bit. Evening. Safe and enjoy. Mario asks, hello Marc and Maree, what do you guys do for work to support this lifestyle besides YouTube? Me and a girlfriend are looking to do something similar to you guys and welcome ideas for income on the road. Yeah, as I said, like I'm doing videos, that is my income. The YouTube revenue is what I live off. And Maree is a personal trainer. She trains her clients online via webcam. We set her, like, she set this up when the pandemic hit. She started doing webcam training, and since then works out pretty fine, and this way we can make this happen. Also, I get donations via PayPal from you guys, and that helps out a lot. That is really cool. I have my patrons, they support me monthly. That is amazing. I have the YouTube members. And yeah, this is what makes it possible. And we always try to travel kind of cheap. So I don't have to pay for gas. That helps a lot. I mean, especially here in Turkey, it's so cheap. We're here for a month now, and I feel like I spend, I have to check, but I think it's barely 10 euro what I spent for charging so far, which is, it's incredible, really. Bikes and cameras, love that. Love your videos, Marc. How do you make the Go2 last the whole video, and how do you sync with audio? Does it just come down to planning? Yes, it's all down to planning. During the day, I kind of try to get an idea on what the day would look like. You know, most of the time it doesn't end up like that because something always comes up, but I never let all my cameras run all the time, you know. I shoot what I want to have in the videos, and they work fine, you know. For my DJI action cam, I don't even have a spare camera, you know. The camera what I do all the face-to-face vlogging, you know. I don't even have a spare battery, you know. I know exactly what I want to shoot, and batteries last fine. Also with the Go2, they are my favorite cameras. They're so cool. All right. Okay. Jerome Brosen. Yeah, good question. Hi Marc, when do you plan to actually hardcore camp using the roof tent? Yeah, I feel like I said that sometimes in the comments already. We have the tent. We bought it, you know, when we bought the Jimmy. You can see that in the video. Yeah, we plan to bring it, but we never actually plan to do hardcore camping because, as I said before, we both work every day, and it's you know, it's just, it makes life so much easier to be in an apartment. But we will do, and we did in Tunisia already. We did a little camping holiday, as you will, and we will do that again for sure. Right now it's super hot during the day. You can't even be outside because it's like 37 degrees here. And imagine living and working in a tent. It's just, you know, it's not necessarily a holiday for us. It's more like a lifestyle, you know. Like we live like that now. We don't have a home anymore. And the rooftop tent, you know, we have it, and if we feel like it, we use it. That's all that is to it. Ashford Duncan. Do you post your amazing videos for stock purchase like iStock, Shutterstock? No. 3 miles MC. I think I saw your video. You traveled to Iceland in a Suzuki. I think I saw a video from you. How was the experience growing this channel into what it is now in the last years? Well, I mean, I started the channel in 2020, and then for a year I tried to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I went to Iceland, you know, I was a month in Iceland with the old Honda. And then I went to Portugal, and then I uploaded the first video from the trip, and then the video had a really good feedback, and like many people saw it. And then all of a sudden I got so many subscribers, like 10,000 in a week, and then it went on for a while. And then, you know, with YouTube it's always like, it always goes up and down, you know. Then you have a video that goes viral, and then your channel grows again, and then for a while it doesn't do anything. Like, you know, this is just, especially for what I'm doing, you know, I'm not like, you know, I feel like my content is not very consistent in a way that it is like, you know, people come to the channel and they always get what they expect. You know, I started on the old Honda, you know, many people like the bike, and I still have the old Honda, and she will be back one day for sure. But I've, you know, I bought Eve, you know, and all of a sudden I was on an electric bike, and you know, some people don't like that. And then we started this journey. Then all of a sudden bring my girlfriend, you know, it was probably a shock for many too. But yeah, I'm trying not to fixate so hard on views and all this kind of stuff and growth. You know, I try to focus on making the videos, which is easier said than done, because you know how it is. You know, you always look at the numbers and you always want to make your videos perform better than the previous one. But yeah, you can't really do much about it. You know, it's either people watch it or not. It's just how it is, I guess. The most important thing is that you enjoy doing it, I think. It feels like watching you longer than 2020. Yeah, I do a lot of videos in a short period of time. Also, thank you for all the lovely compliments here in the chat. I love that. Is there a reason why you don't display maps about the route you took? There's not necessarily a reason. So first of all, it would take time to do it in a way that I would like, and not just, you know, put Google Maps on the display, which I don't really like. I did that in Iceland, but yeah, most of all, the first reason is I don't really plan routes, so I would have to, you know, editing, I would have to track back and see, okay, where did we go and what did we do. That would take a lot of time. And second of all, since I'm doing this all in real life, I'm trying not to, you know, like, you know, you guys always kind of know where I am, but, you know, I just don't want to, you know, let the world always exactly know where I am. I don't know if it works or not. I guess who wants to find out finds out. Where is Toot Toot? Marie's already, you know, she's already ready for bed, and maybe she comes say hi later. Maybe. Been seeing you back on. Yeah, it would be interesting seeing me back on the Dominator. Imagine doing this trip. I mean, I have to get the Dominator to New Zealand as well at some point, you know, because we want to live there. So yeah, this. Basically just one way to get her there. Pretty sure I'm going to film it too. Do you miss Germany? Nah, not really. You know, I'm always, like, since I'm 20, I was always, you know, as a musician, I was always touring a lot and always away from home. And, you know, I'm not really one to look back all the time, you know, always try and look in the future. And yeah, I miss, of course, my family. That's for sure. Prabhu Chaudhary, love the vlogs, Marc. How long are you planning to stay in New Zealand? We want to live there, but I also want to go to South America and America. So there's no really a time frame, but we will find out. Oh, where was the question? How is charging station in fracture is overthrough? Oh, I don't think I understand that. Yeah, if it's about this charging infrastructure, that is of course different from country to country. But here in Turkey, there's like chargers everywhere. Like this, it's like the best ever. Like, and since I figured out how to use the app correctly, charging is not. I don't even think about charging really. I don't even start with 100% because I know there's just literally chargers everywhere. Sometimes you can't access them because they're in a hotel maybe, but yeah, there's chargers everywhere really. Would you be open for a gig with 11 Unicorns somewhere along the route? Yeah, I mean, I love doing that with Maree. That was a cool project, and you know, we'll get back to it. But we actually sold all our equipment because we couldn't bring it, so we sold everything. But yeah, we will be back touring for sure, 100%. Paul Vassina, no. Paul Stokes, hey Marc, you are a natural presenter and you always seem to be so chilled. Yes, I am chilled, but I don't think I'm a natural presenter. It doesn't really come naturally to me. I really have to, you know, there is vloggers that they put on the camera and they can just talk and talk and talk. That doesn't really quite work with me, you know. I really have to think about what I'm going to say and then say it and, you know, make it feel natural. That's just how it is. It doesn't come so easy, but it gets a bit easier over time. But what was the? But I am basically chilled. But I'm also kind of a perfectionist in that way. So sometimes I'm a little stressed about the videos, and especially when when it gets a bit harder, or the way I want it to be is not working out, or like I stress a lot about the videos, but yeah, that also gets easier with time. All right, I'm sorry. Like I said, the questions come in quite a lot, and if I overread yours, just put it in again. Yeah, the Roman ruins in Side. Yeah, Maree told me already that is here on the way. Yeah, we're gonna check it out. I'm afraid the Dominator will not make it to New Zealand. I don't think so. I think she's gonna make it. I'll get her sorted. Hey Marc, did you figure out the vibrations in your front brakes? Yeah, I think they are just warped to this. You know, that's just. I mean, I tried now a few things and it all didn't work out. So I think it's just warped. And yeah, the interesting thing is that is already the second set, and it's because the first ones, they were also warped. And the funny thing is that Zero didn't even want to do it on warranty because I had too many miles already. But yeah, I thought with the new ones it would be alright, but apparently it's not. So yeah, I'm just getting used to it now, and it's gonna be fine. Itchy Boots had some of her best days in South America. Is she your inspiration to visit a continent? I think she's the inspiration to do any of this here. Like, it is just, she's such a huge inspiration. I mean, I think she was the first channel I ever watched or followed on YouTube. And yeah, and I watch her videos ever since, and she's inspiring. I hope I can meet her one day, but she's very inspiring to me, and I guess to millions of people. It's just crazy. And especially how she does it for such a long time now already. I mean, because it is hard work to do. She puts out a lot of videos, and it's just so much work, and she's doing it all by herself. And it's, you know, like I'm lucky that I could bring Maree now on this trip, so because that gives me a lot of strength, you know, to carry on and do all this, you know. If I was alone all the time, man. I remember when I did my previous journeys, after I always tried to meet up with Maree somewhere, because after a few weeks I missed her and I wanted her with me. And yeah, that is I have nothing but respect for Noali, really. Hey Marc, do you have a plan on which countries you will go to next to reach New Zealand? Not really. we don't really plan, but I think the next country will be Georgia, I think. Pretty sure. Do you have exactly plan for a trip to? No, we have no plan. We don't even know where we stay next. We never really plan, you know. There's just we arrive somewhere, and then I start making the video, and the next day basically is always, you can see it as a day that isn't there, because that the next day I'm always just inside, work on the video 10 hours, like 10 hours together with releasing it, you know, doing subtitles, thumbnail. That's something, you know, I wanted also to say, like, because I get like comments about my thumbnails and stuff, you know. I don't know why people take that so seriously, because I know they're a bit edgy sometimes, but you know, it's YouTube, you know, and when you make a living from YouTube, you have to play that game a little bit, you know, and have to make it interesting, you know. So and you cannot name every video amazing roads in the mountains, you know. Like, you have to be a little bit creative, and you know, it's really hard, you know. I put a lot of thought always in the, you know, in the thumbnails, and try to think about something that people would click on, because that's, you know, it's important that people click on the video. So you know, and I don't see it as like my videos or titles, they're not misleading, they're not clickbait, because when you click on a video, you always get a Marc Travels video. You know, it will always be me and a motorcycle. So I don't see why people would get upset about it. Axel Löwenstein. Hi Marc, as a professional video editor, I'm interested in your setup. What hardware and software do you use? What does editing session look like? Yeah, as I just said, you know, editing takes like about editing itself. It always takes, depends on how long the video is and how long the day was. But yeah, if you see like if you want to have a number, then for every minute you guys are watching, I'm sitting somewhere half an hour editing. So you can do the math yourself. And I edit everything on iPad with an app called LumaFusion. And yeah, my camera, as you see in the videos anyways. So yeah, but for me that's just the fastest workflow. You know, iPads are so fast. They're faster than my MacBook. That's why I edit everything on iPad. Is there any country that you want to avoid or nervous about on the way to New Zealand? Yeah, I mean, you know, like, of course, countries where there's a lot of, you know, like, we're for sure not. I think we're not going to Iraq. That wouldn't make sense at all. But yeah, I mean, if you would look at the, you know, like the government website on which country you can't go, then you couldn't really go anywhere. So, but yeah, I mean, every country that we go from here on, you know, I have never been to Turkey, and most of the countries that come from now I have never been, so it's always a little bit exciting. So, but yeah, we have no plan, and we'll figure it out for sure. How much to replace it? This there is freaking expensive. I think all up with the pads or so, like 700 euro, 800 euro. Hello from Hungary. Do you plan to ride another electric motorcycle such as an Energica? I would like to, you know, I would like to ride one, but I can't really plan to ride another bike. How would I do that? You know, like I have my motorcycle. That's all I have. Like literally everything you see in the videos, that is all we have now. We sold everything. We have no home. I have no garage full of bikes. The Dominator is at my mom's place. So yeah, I hope I can ride as many electric bikes or bikes in general as possible in my life. But right now there's just no opportunity or anything like that. Hey Marc, what factors drove your decision to buy an electric motorcycle versus another ICE? If it wasn't for an electric motorcycle, I probably wouldn't have bought another motorcycle. I would have fixed up the Dominator, and I would have gone with the Dominator. That was the initial plan, but then I had the problems with the engine, and then I thought, yeah, so what do? I always had this dream since I saw Heron and Charly doing the long way up on the Harleys. That was for me, like, that was so mind-blowing. It's like, that is so cool. And then I came back from Norway with the Dominator, and then I was like, it's now or never. So I looked for second-hand bikes, electric bikes. I found Eve, bought her, and here we are. So that was basically it. And I don't regret it really, because I enjoy it so much. Really, it's. I don't think I'm ever going to buy an ICE bike again, to be honest. Which video was the most difficult for you to complete? Yeah, that's hard to say. Like, I guess it was the most intense was I was 1 month in Iceland with the Dominator, and when I came back, I did a whole, like, it's not a film, but it was like an hour video, And that took like 3 or 4 days. That was kind of hard because it was so much footage. But the rest, they're all kind of all the same. Like, it depends always. When the day is super long, then the editing takes longer. When it's a short day, then it's pretty fast because I already know exactly, okay, I have this footage, I have this and that, and then it's more easier. Why are you using Airbnb and not booking? We used always both. We used Booking and Airbnb, but now in Turkey there's no Booking.com. They have a different site, but we haven't figured it out. And Airbnb is really the cheapest and the best option for us. And it's more personal because you interact with the owners, and you can and you know it's easy to look at the reviews and all this. Oh, by the way, super chat. Let me see. Oh man, I have to catch up here. Mustafa, thank you for the super chat, much appreciated. Also really appreciate all the super thank yous in the videos. It makes all the difference really, because YouTube, you know, it keeps you going, but it's really the support of the people that makes it work. Yeah, should you get an electric car for Maree? Yeah, 100%. I mean, that would have been amazing, but that wasn't in the budget. Like, we bought the Jimmy way before I bought the electric bike, because we already had the plan to go to New Zealand. But we bought the Jimmy, and yeah, an electric car would be just. We didn't have the money for it. I didn't even have the money for Eve. To be honest, I'm still paying her off. But I will get there. So yeah, but yeah, one day electric car for Maree, that would be amazing. If a motorcycle manufacturer wanted to sponsor you, would you give it a go on their bike, or you married to Eve? Nah, that's. The thing is, like, of course it would be awesome to complete the journey with Eve. That is the plan anyways, you know. And for sure a bike like the Energica, the Xperia, would be much better suited for everything what comes now. I'm aware of that, you know. I mean, Eve is by all means not made for what I do with her. But you know, I reached out to Zero before I bought her. I reached out, and yeah, there were some emails and stuff, but in the end they weren't interested. They still aren't interested in sponsoring. But yeah, so I figured that. Hold on, I just have to. Where was I? Yeah. So they didn't really, you know, they weren't really keen on sponsoring the journey. So I bought Eve, and I started to the UK. My first journey. I started UK, and the day I started, they released their adventure motorcycle, and you know, I was a little bit, yeah, because we were in touch before, and you know, and I asked them what would be a great bike to do what I want to do. And he didn't say a word, you know, that they would bring the perfect bike for me out like a month later. So that was a little bit, yeah. But anyways, I have Eve now, and I'm planning to finish the journey, of course, on Eve. So, but yeah, if somebody gives me a free Energica Xperia or something like that, that would be pretty stupid to say no to an offer like that. So, but there's nothing. There's no. I'm not in touch with Xperia, with Energica. So I'll finish on Eve for sure. Did Zero explain why they aren't interested in this one? No, nothing. Have you serviced the Jimmy at the World Tour? I mean, we had the new brakes put on, new brake discs, because they were also warped when we like in Italy. We did that, But yeah, we did a service before we started. The oil is still good for another 10,000 kilometers, and we have to make the aircon. We have to check out the aircon. We'll probably do that tomorrow. Just to know you changed my perspective on electric motorcycle. Yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, many people have so many, you know, negative thoughts about electric stuff, and I for sure they're not the solution to save the world. That's for sure. But they're much fun. Any journey without a sponsor will be much satisfaction for sure. That would be awesome. And I'm pretty sure once I finish the journey, then there will be brands reaching out for sure. You are not scared of having a moto accident with your motorbike? I mean, no, I'm not scared. I mean, this can always happen, but that's why, you know, I always wear my protective gear and just, you know, trying to ride as responsible as I can be, even though that is a little hard when you have so much power on a motorcycle. And the dangerous thing is, I feel like that you're getting used to it. You're really getting used to it, and then you go faster, and that's a bit scary. I'm sure if I now go back on the old Dominator, I will feel like, oh, what is this? Why is that so slow? But yeah, being scared is probably not the right way to go about motorcycle riding. You just have to be aware of your surroundings, and you know, I don't listen to music or I don't have earplugs. You know, I want to be aware. So yeah, I'm not scared. No. Have you been testing the 0D SRX? No, haven't. No, I have seen it. So, and it's huge. It's massive, and I must say I really like that Eve is kind of a small bike and not a big adventure bike, because getting her inside here, you know, it was just a small door, and I had so many occasions where I had to bring her into a tight space, or in I think it was in Scotland, or probably in Scotland. I parked her in a hotel in a hallway. You know, try and do that with the GS or something like that, or a big adventure bike. It's really cool, and it's really nimble, you know, and especially for filming when you're getting on and off the bike, like every, I don't know, like 50 times a day or something like that. And it's really cool if it's not super high and you can just easily get on and off. So yeah. Question, can Maree ride? Are there plans to do a Maree learns to ride video? That would probably be a fun video, 100%, yeah. But I'm not sure if we're going to do this here. And she's not really interested in motorcycles at all. Like, I think she's a bit... she wouldn't be scared to ride it, but I don't know, it's not her thing. She doesn't even like sitting on the back. So I don't know if that video is going to happen. It's like, she would rather go on a quad bike. That's totally her jam. You know, isn't that extremely loud without earplugs? It's not really. I don't know. Like, people always tell me, and I'm, you know, as a musician, I'm really like aware of my hearing and my ears. But it's not. You know, with the Honda it was loud, yeah, because of the exhaust. That was loud, but with Eve, it's nothing. What's your favorite road tire? I have the Continentals now, and you guys know I have the Continental sent me them for free, which is amazing, and that was such a great move, you know. And they were just so super cool about it. It was really like an engineer from Continental watches the video, Steven, and he arranged everything, and they were just so cool. That was just the only question they had was where do we send them? And then 2 days later I had them, and they feel so good. And also the TKC, my mechanic in Berlin, suggested them to me. They were brilliant. They did exactly what I expected them to do. They brought me over the Alps in winter with ice and snow, and it was really that was some crazy situations. So that was super awesome, and they were so grippy. And now these tires, so far so good. You know, let's see how long they last. But other than that, I don't have so much experience. Like I had the Michelin Road 6 before. They were nice. But I felt like in the rain in Scotland and the wet weather, I didn't feel so comfortable. But by all means, you know, like I'm not a super expert on tires. So whatever I'm telling you in the videos and what I feel in the moment, that is what it is. And yeah, we'll find out together how long they last. And that's about all I can say. They're so far they're great. Do you intend to do the journey to New Zealand without ever flying back to Germany? Yeah, for sure. Me, for sure. I mean, Maree already flew back, but for me, it's like there's just no reason to go back. You know, like I wouldn't know why. I met my mom in Greece. That was really cool. And yeah, I mean, I'll go back once we're settled in New Zealand. Or whatever, I don't know, I have no plan. Does it cost you more into motor insurance and electric bike than a regular gasoline bike? Yes. Actually, yes, and it was harder to find proper insurance, you know, and it's definitely more expensive. It was for my insurance. But yeah, probably that will change at some point, probably. I don't even know why that would be more expensive, but I was. GoPro or Insta360, never GoPro again. Never GoPro. They're so shit, really. I had a GoPro, the GoPro 10 or 11, was it? I had it for one journey. I sold it right after I got home. It's just they freeze, they corrupt the files. The sensors are super small, and they're just, I don't know. The little Insta360 cameras, they're just great. They always record, always. I never lost the clip. No, never lost the clip. And I still have my 4 or 5 year old DJI Osmo Action as an action camera. It's still the best camera on the market, hands down. Best image quality, works all the time. Battery still lasts for ages. Like I will never buy, like, never say never, but I don't intend to buy a GoPro ever again. That was a mistake for sure. What does your mom think of your journey? Does she worry for you? She's probably in the chat somewhere. And yeah, I think every mom worries. But yeah, she's pretty cool. And she supports me. Like, she helped me out with Eve. Like, I'm still paying her back. What was your favorite place when you were in Norway with the Dominator? Oh, that's really hard to say. Like, a highlight was definitely North Cape. That I can just, you know, I heard people saying before that they were like, you know, that underwhelmed a bit, but for me it was incredible. I must admit, I had really good weather. I had sun, and I was just in the mornings at 5, and there was the sun, and the clouds were beneath me. That was just incredible, you know. Luckily, I have it all on video, so you guys can check it out, and I will certainly look back on it. No, that was amazing. That was an incredible experience. Which has been the most electric ready country so far? I mean, like I said, Turkey is pretty good. Like, there's chargers everywhere. I mean, everywhere in Europe. I mean, even Albania, Bulgaria, there was chargers everywhere. People, you know, people I meet, and people that don't look for chargers, like people that drive a normal car or a normal motorcycle, they don't look for chargers, obviously, and they don't see them. But the moment you start looking into it, you see them everywhere, really everywhere. In Tunisia, there was obviously not many. But the good thing there was they were all free. I didn't have to pay for charging once in Tunisia. Not once. Cool wäre es auch, wenn du die Insta360 zum Sponsor bekommen würdest. It would be cool if I would get the Insta360 Go 3 as a sponsoring. Yes, they want to send me cameras, but I don't know. There's for now. It's not. They obviously want me to do a video, but I don't see why I do videos for free. You know, like, I mean, who does work just to, you know, like, I bet nobody goes to work and just works to get the free tools, you know. I don't really need the Insta360 3. I looked into it, and actually they would my workflow a little bit harder because they are a little bit bigger. I would have to adjust the mounts and everything, and they have come now in a. They don't have this cool little foldable cases anymore where you can just put them in and then you don't worry about them anymore. You just have this other case and the lens will always be unprotected. So I don't know, like I'm not convinced, and the picture quality is the same. So yeah, let's see. If they make me a good offer, then maybe I will test it out. But so far, I'm happy. You can use booking in Turkey, but you need a VPN in your device. Yeah, we need a VPN here as well for many sites. They block sites here in Turkey. Like the internet is not so free as it is in Europe. They block it. They block my bank, for example. I can't access my bank app. I need to use VPNs here. What drone do you have? I have 2 drones. I have the DJI Air 2, and I have my spare drone is the DJI Mini 2. The Mini 2 I fly a lot in cities because it's under 250 grams, and it's a bit easier with the regulations and stuff. And but yeah, the Air 2 is my go-to drone. It's really cool. How do you fly the drone while driving? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I fly it manually. I'm trying not to show it too often because, you know, like, I would be probably a bad example because you're not supposed to fly a drone and ride a motorcycle, I guess. But yeah, I fly it manually, and sometimes I use the tracking, and that doesn't always work the way I would like to. But yeah. Love your videos. Where's your favorite place so far on your trip with Maree? Favorite place? I really love Bulgaria. That was, for me, a highlight, really. Bulgaria, Romania too. I wish I could have gone on the Transalpina, but that was closed still. I met somebody in Bulgaria that attempted to go the same time I was there, and he was like, had to turn around because there was just 3 meters of snow on the road. You couldn't go. It was really, really blocked. Yeah, Romania was cool. Bulgaria was cool. Maree liked Tunisia a lot. And I loved Malta. Malta was an amazing experience, and I met some cool people there. That was awesome, really. Had my first ever group ride in Malta. That was so much fun. You never have saddle pain. Yes, I did have saddle pain, but you get used to it. You just get used to it. That's all I can say. Like, if you sit long enough on your motorcycle, you get used to everything. You don't need to buy. I don't know. I don't think I would ever need to buy like a different saddle or different like a seat cover or anything like that. Like now, I can't feel it anymore. Like I don't have saddle pain. I sometimes get a little bit of back pain because of the backpack, but other than that, nothing. And the seat position is not. The Honda seat position was way better because it was a little bit more upright. But yeah, like I said, you get definitely used to everything. Do you first check the country laws in regards to flying drones and capturing video with it? Have you ever had any issues? Yeah, I always check the laws and regulations. You know, I mean that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have your license and register it. Yeah, that's not always easy. That's a little bit hard to do sometimes, but yeah, I mean, you should never fly somewhere we're not allowed to. That's all I can say. Do you recommend Tunisia for a trip of 12 days? You should go longer, but I would totally recommend it. It's great. It was a great experience. People are so friendly, so nice. It was awesome, but go in winter, that's for sure. Do you keep some footage in separate folder for the future when you will finish the journey? No. I delete everything. I delete all my raw footage every day. I format my SD cards every day. What I do, I simply don't have time to back up. Like if I would back up I reckon I have like 100 gigabyte every day. If I would back that up every day, I would just sitting another day just backing up files. No, I delete everything. I have a copy of the finished video that I save in a different folder, but other than that, delete everything. I'm never gonna look at it ever again, for sure, never. Recognizing that you sometimes set your camera up ahead of you, do you scout out your path ahead of time or just decide on the go? No, never scout out, never, but I look ahead, obviously, and I mean, you know, when you do something long enough, then you get better in it, you know, that's just natural. Whatever you do, you always get a little better, and so does, you know, the eye get a little better for stuff that might look cool. So I see something in the distance and I feel like, all right, that could look cool, or I want to capture that, and then I set up the camera or I fly the drone, and that's what I do. But I don't plan my shots, like not really ever, because I don't make script for video, so there wouldn't be a way to set up shots or anything like that. You have had an empty battery a couple of times now. Do you have a plan should Eve actually stop moving? Yeah. I just, like, it depends where I am, you know. When I stop moving close to civilization and there's houses, I'll just knock on some doors and try to find this place to plug in. You know, I can literally plug in anywhere. Like I have a Metron, the company, one of the companies that sent me a charger. They send me adapters too, so I can I can plug in anywhere. And if it's somewhere remote, you know, I'll just hang on to the Jimmy if I have to. I reckon that could be a fun video if that ever happens. I guess many people would have thought that would have already had to happen, but I'm now, you know, I have Eve now for like 10 months and been to over 15 countries and it hasn't happened. Let's hope it stays that way. I hope you realize that you and Maree are inspiring people all over the world. Keep on doing what you do. Yeah, that is, you know, when I read those comments, you know, and I read all the comments, every comment I read, and I try to answer every one of them. That always makes me happy. That makes me so happy when I read that I inspire people, and especially when people write me that they now watch together with their wives or their family. That's just amazing. That you know, like that's the best compliment ever. You know, because it's not just, you know, a motorcycle thing anymore. It's just, you know, it's about traveling and living a life on the road together as a couple. Which is, by the way, much harder than doing this alone, because, you know, there's just, you know, you have to find a way to make it work that everybody can enjoy it. But that is, for me, that's now part of the adventure and part of the, you know, like challenge to make it work for Maree and me. But yeah, that makes me so happy when people say that I inspire them, really. Alright, let's see. Do you ever see a need to film in 4K? Yeah, I'll always film in 4K. Like, why wouldn't I? Of course. Hey Marc, how do you qualify your range anxiety now compared to your first when you started with Eve? At the moment, it's like there's no range anxiety. It's completely gone, because here I'm pretty sure that I can always find a charger. And yeah, in general, like, yeah, you get used to it. I mean, it's just normal, you know, it's something new, and people are like, in general, you know, as all the other people, I wasn't used to it. I had to figure it out. I had to see, okay, what is that all? How does that work, you know? And obviously it's different and it's changed, and people having a hard, including me, we're all having a hard time with change. And yeah, I had to get used to it. And of course I was always worried about range, but now it's just, I know what the range is. I know it's just like, I know when the gas tank was empty at the Honda, you know, I didn't have a fuel gauge. I know when the gas was empty. And now I know when my tank is empty, so I just have to make sure I'll be at a charger by then. And I mean, with the Honda, I actually ran out of fuel and had to push. Didn't happen with Eve yet. Do you ever find it hard to secure your bike and belongings when in different places you visit? Yeah, that is obviously very hard because, you know, I always have soft luggage, but now with Maree it's actually kind of cool because we can just, if we go out exploring or do something, then I can just put everything in the Jimmy and then we lock it and then it's all right. But yeah, alone is that's always problematic, you know, when you park your bike somewhere, it's just out in the open and everybody can take whatever they want. But yeah, now that's better. Let me check. What tent do you have? Is it easy to pack into your luggage? The one you use with the Dominator? Yeah, I use that with the Honda too. The Grand Canyon or something it's called. It's the best tent. Like this is my second version of it already because my first one that broke, the Flynet, and then I had another one. Like an orange one, I had it in Portugal. I didn't like it so much. It was a pain to set up, and what I have now, it's a little bit bigger and more like heavy duty, but yeah, I can't really pack it in my luggage roll, but I always put it on top. It's a great tent. I love it. I'm sure I skip a lot of questions, but just put them in again. I'll read them eventually for sure. Did you break out a sweat when Eve was at 0%? Yeah, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't? Because I don't know what happens. I don't know when she will stop. But I did a few kilometers and I went out turned out good. But yeah, obviously you start sweating. Zero Pioneer. Yes, you still have 5 to 10 kilometers inside. It's like a reserve, probably. You know, it's good that they do that because, you know, people will always try and test the limits, for sure. Fragen dich, I translate the German questions in English. Do 99% of the people that I meet ask you about the range? Yes. I would say 100%. No, I always answer, of course, because how would they know, you know? Like, and that is obviously the first thing that comes up, you know, like. And since we're like in Italy, in Italy it actually wasn't the first question. The first question in Italy was how fast is it? Because they're all about going fast. That's super fast. Rocket. Did you see the series Long Way Up with Ewan McGregor? Yeah, not just once. I watch it all the time, basically. I watched it on the trip already twice, I think. Just because I just love it. It's just so inspiring, you know. I watched all of the series. I was basically still a child when they did the Long Way Up, and I watched that. I remember it very vividly. Very inspiring. Do you plan to tour New Zealand when you get there and put this on the GP? Of course, man. New Zealand is such a beautiful country, man. I can't wait to get back there. And yeah, I might do different YouTube channels, you know. We want to build a house and stuff too at some point, you know, in the future. So I might do a house building channel or something like that. Because I just love filmmaking or video making. I'm not shooting film, you know, I'm shooting videos. So yeah, I really enjoy that. And I've always been a creative person. I've always been an artist, and that's just what I like doing. You know, before it was music, and now it's this, and I love it. Is your mom going to travel to New Zealand to visit her grandchildren? Yeah, I'm sure she is. I'm pretty sure she's gonna want to live there too. So yeah, let's see. Are you going to go to Canada one day with your electric motor? Yes, I want to, obviously. But I can't tell you when. I don't know. Like, it will be after New Zealand. We want to go to New Zealand first, and then I want to go to America too, 100%. That is 100% certain. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, you know. Like, if I don't know if it's going to be on Eve or whatever bike it's going to be. So, let's see. Maybe there's other companies by then that build cool electric adventure bikes. So, let's see. Do you mix your own music for the videos? Yeah, I used to do. I used a lot of old demos that never made it on an album or anything. I used to put that in the videos. I don't do it as much anymore because I'm now I have a subscription service with like hundreds of thousands of songs, and they're all really good quality. You know, old demos aren't as good for quality. So I use that a lot because I always find what I want. Club Zero Motorcycle Spain follows you. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. Do you feel handicapped ever on your electric bike compared to a normal bike? Why? Like, I don't understand the question. What's the handicap? Like, lots of other moto bloggers watch your channel and comment and like your content. Well, thank you. Do you watch any of theirs? If so, which is your favorite right now? I mean, I still watch Noali. All the time she brings out the video, I watch it. Motorcycle Travelers. I must say, I don't watch so many. I recently got into $1 Million Bogan. What a great character, and he has such a unique style on doing his videos. Like, it's super raw and super guerrilla style, you know, with one GoPro, and it's like it's all over the place, and I really love it. It's great. It's great fun to watch him. But yeah, is there? Yeah, I mean, the videos always pop up, and I watch every now and then, you know. But I must admit, you know, I don't really have so much time to watch YouTube. So yeah, I don't really watch as much as I would like to. If you see long way round and long way, did you see Race to Dakar even more inspiring? I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that. Like the long way down. If I don't know. Like Race to Dakar, I don't think I've seen that. Where are you going to live in New Zealand? North or South Island? Definitely North Island, I think. We're going to the North Island, I think. Is there anything you would change about your experience on this trip so far? Not really. I don't know. I don't know what I would change. Like, I'm not a person that, you know, like would like to go back and change anything. Like, I think everything I did, I always did for a reason, and probably made me the person I am now. So no, I wouldn't change anything. Definitely not. Make 3 tiny houses. Mom needs a room too. All right. How much did Maree have to be persuaded for the trip, or was she excited about the idea from the start? Yeah, she was. She was very excited. I mean, when I initially came up with it, I wanted to do it alone. And Maree was, no, there's no way you're going alone. I want to come with you. I would love that. And yeah, and then we started planning it. And then we before we bought the Jimny, we thought about like getting an ATV, like a quad bike. But yeah, we just figured that would be just that would be too hard. That would be very, very rough, you know, for her, because those things, they're not super easy to handle. I think they're hard work. I think the Jimmy was a very, very good choice for sure. Worst aspect of your zero bike? Worst aspect? Yeah, I think it's the battery. You know, the first battery was already broken when I bought it, and I think the batteries in general are always the like, for every EV, I think batteries, there must be a way to power an electric motor in a different way, because I don't think batteries are really future proof, and they don't really make sense, I think. So I'm pretty sure there will be a way in the future. But yeah, I think it would be the battery that would be the worst part, because the motor, I'm pretty sure the motor is going to last me a long, long time. Do you have any pets back at home now? No. Do you think there will be fast charge problems in some countries to come? Yeah, 100%. I mean, there will be countries where there's no fast charging, for sure. So we have to try and make it work in a different way. That is 100%. 100% sure, yeah. If the DSRX came out before your trip, would you choose it over there? Yeah, I think I would have chosen it. I mean, I probably couldn't afford it, because there was no used models or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's probably the more reasonable choice, maybe. I don't know. I think it's probably it's better designed for something like that. That I can imagine. Yeah, I haven't ridden one, so I don't know. What countries will you be traveling to in order to get to New Zealand? I'm not sure yet. We're not sure what countries. I mean, we want to go to India for sure. That is clear, and yeah, we have to figure it out country by country, I'd say. In your last video, you mentioned that you love gadgets. Which is your favorite moto-related gadget? Favorite? I can show you. I think. Can you see it? It's this little thing here. This goes on the gas on the how's it called? On the gas grip. I don't know how it's called. And yeah, you can just rest your palm on it, and then you can relax your hand. I think that's my favorite kind of gadget, for sure. Let's put it back. I'll put it back later. All right. Which is more relaxed, from charging station to charging station, or from gas station to gas station? I don't know. Like, I mean, gas station takes like a minute or two. Charging, a full charge takes an hour. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear the prayers? Maree loves the prayers. A throttle rocker. Yeah, that's probably my favorite gadget. I love it. Oh, we call that a girly hand holder. All right. All right. How many kilometers do you have on Eve and Jimmy? The Jimmy has about 80,000 now. I think we just Maree just hit 80,000 kilometers, and Eve has now 33,000 kilometers. Do you have any idea how long it will take you to get to Tunis? That's a really good question. I have no idea. Like, I mean, to be quite honest, you know, we already planned to be in Turkey in spring, and now it's like in the middle of summer. So yeah, I don't know. Like, there's certainly gonna be a lot of more videos to come. Probably, I mean, at least another year for sure. Can you get used to prayers? And Maree loves the prayers. I don't mind them. I like them. Yeah, Maree is already in bed. Maybe she comes out. We'll see. Hi. Do you plan on any mods for Eve, or are you gonna leave it as it is? Yeah, for now I'll leave her as it is, for sure. But I did have a center stand installed, which was a brilliant idea, and the bash plate, which, you know, you saw that if you saw the video from Albania where I went this mountain road, this off-road. Adventure, that man, without the engine guard or battery guard, that would have been a disaster for sure. I would have ripped off the controller for sure. So yeah, that was the best mod. But other than that, I don't think I have any other mods. No, that would be it, and it will stay that way. Like, I have no other plans. I don't need anything. Okay. Alright. What about the countries where there's a lot of snow after summer? Yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll have to deal with whatever comes. How often do you have to stop along your way at one day to manage all these videos? Yeah, that is of course always different, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot where it adds on a lot to the trip, and I'm happy that Maree just goes along with it and is fine with everything. But yeah, it's a lot of work filming. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. You know, it makes me. I feel like the filming makes me experience the whole thing a little bit more intense, because, you know, I really have to focus on stuff, and I'm not just riding and then I get to the hotel and then I'm there. Now, filming helps with experience the place. I'm sorry, there's some comments in the languages that I don't speak, so I apologize. So that I just can't read. I just can't read the English, German. I understand Spanish, French. I understand. But that's about it. Any plans to fit a bash plate to Mr. Jim before Maree starts hitting? Nah. I mean, we lost the protection for the exhaust already, but nah. We just go as it is, and we'll be fine for sure. We'll be fine. Am I worried that somebody steals my camera when I'm filming? Nah, I'm never worried. I mean, nobody's going to take a camera for sure. This is like, you know, I'm never like, I'm always within line of sight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not putting a camera. I'm not putting a camera anywhere where I have no, you know, like control over it. All right. I don't know. Am I caught up on all the questions? Do you think you will go back into the TK70 after Tech 3? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I have those tires now, and let's see. But I'm comfortable with street tires for sure. All right, guys. I think we've been more than an hour now. I think that's all right for a quick chat. Yeah. Thank you all for watching this live stream. It was a nice chatting to you guys, and I think we can do this again sometime. I'm probably not gonna wait another year to make another live stream. Yeah, thank you so much, and I see you in the next video. Tomorrow I will go out and try to buy some new motorcycle gear, like some mesh stuff, you know, with protection. Let's see what I can find, and yeah, I think I'll make a video about it. Let's see, and yeah, not much more to say than I thank you all for watching, and thanks for all your support. That means a lot to me, and have a great day, have a great night wherever you are, and see you in the next video. And I'm sure Maree also says her greetings, and maybe the next one she will be there. All right, see you guys.